Airfix 1/32nd scale modern British infantry. Released in 1976, and this is the first departure we see from the mainly World War II theme that Airfix been doing so far. So now we're into the Cold War era, and in 1976 this was modern. Now it's a Stone Age again almost, but still. It's a very cool set. There's some personal favorites in here. There's some disappointments, some missed opportunities, of course. But all in all, I think these figures are like the best of the best from Airfix up until now, or actually through the whole range, because all of the poses look so natural, even though I don't enjoy, non-fighting poses. They look very natural. The details are superb. It's a very good set. So stick around till the end and check out the poses or the figures up close, well lit and spinning around and all that stuff. And like all the other YouTubers do, ask you to like and subscribe if you like my videos and the stuff I do. Helps me out and lets you get notification when I release new videos so they don't get lost out there in the YouTube universe. So Airfix did a few modern sets. Of course, at the same time they released the modern German infantry, which is coming up after this video. And then they released 3 others in the 80s. Modern Russians, NATO infantry, SAS. And it's going to be interesting comparing those because there's a huge difference in quality and sculpts and everything between those figures and these 2 sets from 1976. First, the box. As always, the artwork on these, the same as Matchbox, it's so good it almost gets normal and you get kind of blasé about it. But it's so nice, and the DPM uniform, disruptive pattern material looks really nice. I think all the figures on the cover here are in the box except for this guy over here. Kind of a weird pinkish color that I wouldn't have picked myself, but I don't make toy soldiers, so I didn't get to pick. And I was 8 at the time, so you go figure. On the side it says 1976 hold in place as always. On the back, really nice depiction of the DPM pattern. Regular painting instructions, and there's some information on the modern British infantry. And it's kind of interesting here because they talk about the GMPG, the Gimpy and stuff, range of 1800 meters. But in the Swedish defense, we have a D-max, we call it, as far as when you want to make sure you're not hitting someone that's not supposed to be hit, of 4,200 meters, I think it is. And also, it's in the set, the Carl Gustav. We call it the M48, M86, I believe. It says rocket launcher here. It should be a recoilless rifle, right? And it says it fires high explosive shells. But it fires a variety of shells, armor piercing, smoke and stuff like that. And here's the missed opportunity, I think. They talk about the Browning pistol, which no one is using in the set, and then the Sterling submachine gun. Not too fond of, in a modern setting using submachine guns, but for infantry soldiers. But it would have been cool, since they were around, to have some variation. But we'll look at the soldiers now and I'll show you what I mean. Like I was saying about the poses, very natural looking, both of these guys. The grenade throwing soldier is actually holding on to his rifle still, which is one of my pet peeves, as you should probably know by now. And it's just a very dynamic pose. It's so cool. I really like it. And this guy also just shooting from the hip. Bent knees, leaning into it a little bit. I don't know why you'd be shooting from the hip, but maybe he's moving at the same time, or because he's got the finger on the trigger, right? But it's also a very, very nice figure. I really like all the webbing. I think it's pretty darn accurate. And I think also the SLRs, the L1A1s, I think are also very accurate with a little carrying handle and everything. So these are just very detailed. Love the standing rifleman also. Very nice pose. I think also, sometimes we complain about the rifles not being exactly the right size, but I think this is perfect. This is a bit of a disappointment. 2 soldiers just kind of walking, standing, not fighting. And I would have loved to see the machine gunner actually fighting. Prone, kneeling, whatever. And I don't think you should be wearing the ammunition belt around like that and get it dirty and stuff. But it's fun for toy soldiers though. I like that. It adds a little extra dimension to it. This guy, fine figure, very nice natural pose, but as far as, yeah, I guess, for play it's not that fun, but for painting it's kind of cool. And this set kind of puzzled me because there's no officer. This is the only Airfix set, I think, that it doesn't have like a clear officer with either pistol, submachine gun, or binoculars, or doing some kind of gesture or pointing at something. They always have to be pointing, right? But maybe this is the officer, because it wouldn't be too out of the ordinary to have a platoon leader actually with the binoculars up front, seeing what's going on, placing the groups, squads, and whatever in the right positions. So this could be the officer. He's got binoculars anyways, right? And then this thing is, yeah, the M84, 86, sorry. In the UK, I think you just call it the Carl Gustav. On the box art, it's the proper size. But on the figure, it's way, way, way too small. But it's very nicely detailed, though. But for this, they should have thrown in a loader as well. And that's a kind of a weird thing with these sets, because in 1976, Airfix also released the German paratroopers and the US paratroopers, which both sets had 14 poses, and this and the German set only has 7. So I don't know who made those decisions, because there's some lost opportunities here, like I said, with a machine gunner, which you need a firing machine gunner. That's just the way it is, right? But you could have had this one, you could have a firing machine gunner, and you could have a loader. And I think with the Carl Gustav, the same thing. A loader for this would have been nice as well, because, I mean, that's how it actually is used. Officer could have been cool to have both a squad leader and a platoon leader. Maybe one of them with a Sterling, one with a Browning pistol. So there's some stuff that could have been done, but it's a cool set. It's a really great set. Some awesome figures. And I think that's it for this video. Stick around, check out the close-ups, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.